Yo, what is good with y'all boys? And today I'm gonna be guiding you guys to achieve this type of aim. They're gonna peek up. Let me ace, let me ace, let me ace. Aced, aced. This is my aim plus mechanics guide in Operation 1 that will help you get to champion like I did and how many other pros get to the leaderboard as well. Now firstly, you have to realize that Operation 1 is a tactical FPS shooter, and aim is only a little fraction of what can help you get the win. But keep in mind, aim is also a unique tool, and a very useful one in fact, that can help you win games, since it is a 4v4 and the only way to win is killing the other opponents. And also don't forget, to win games you need a reliable team. That's why this video is sponsored by Operation Ranked, a server where you can find your own personal stack that you want to queue up with so you can hit champ or potentially even the leaderboard. And they also have a mutual checker. If you have suspicion on someone cheating, they can potentially see if they are in a cheating server or not. So basically, just join up, link is in the description, and thank you Operation Rank for sponsoring this video. Now this video will cover 3 sections of what you guys need to master to hit champ: active aim, passive aim, and basic mechanics and movement. So starting off with active aim, it's important to have proper technique and a way of making your crosshair go to an opponent. We call this a flick. Now with a flick, you directly swing your mouse to your opponent until you have your crosshair on him. Now you're probably wondering, what happens if I under flick? Or over flick? Well, that's when micro adjustments are here to help clean up your mess. What a micro adjustment is, it's basically a way to fine tune your crosshair after the initial flick. Think of your flick as getting you close enough to the target. It's fast, aggressive, but not always perfectly accurate, and that's completely normal. That's where micro adjustments come in. A micro adjustment is a small, controlled movement you make right after your flick to precisely line up your crosshair onto the opponent's head. Instead of panicking when you miss slightly, you calmly correct it. These movements should be minimal, just tiny corrections using your fingers or wrist. Depending on your mouse grip, the key here is control over speed. You don't want to flick again, you just want to nudge your crosshair into the right place. Now low-key, if you do want to improve this, I suggest going on aim trainers, but if you're not that serious, just keep playing the game. And remember, even pro players don't hit perfect flicks every time. They rely on micro adjustments constantly to secure their shots.
Look at that says.
What you just saw was a quick montage of clips of how champion players fully utilize both their aim and mechanics. Now once again, Operation 1 is a tactical FPS shooter, and this comes with a lot of things to master, such as proper ways of peeking, recoil control,
What the hell is that? Recoil control, bro.
and movement. Let's start this off by learning about passive aim. The difference between passive aim and active aim is that passive aim is more about positioning your crosshair before the fight even happens. Instead of reacting, you're predicting. You're placing your crosshair where an enemy is most likely to appear. So when they swing into you, or you swing into them, you're ready to fire and kill them before they kill you. To practice this, imagine in your mind that there is always a player on the angle you are going to peek or the angle that you're holding. Hence why you see in some of my clips, I always move slowly and follow along the edges or pre-aim to a common angle that an opponent is holding. Now to practice your passive aim, you need to learn how to properly peek and have good movement. And lucky for y'all, I got a leaderboard champion player who has given me the time to record a quick demo on how pro players properly peek into gunfights and how to have good movement as well. Welcome, Vilkas.
So how it works is, for example, if the guy is holding in the store like this or like here, whatever, right? When you're swinging him from a long angle like this, the guy is gonna see you a lot easier because he has to just move his crosshair like this because you're all the way further over there. But if you're close to the door, you're swinging close, you have to move like this, and when you're closer, the guy has to move his crosshair a lot more to keep track of you. This is why the SMG is meta right now, because you can move a lot faster compared to assault rifles, and like this is like another part of the another part of the movement. And I guess you can also say, same thing with, obviously, you don't want to crouch while peeking because it just slows you down. You want to be as fast as possible, so just standing up and then leaning. There's like another technique, but it's a bit harder to do. It's like, if you know that the guy's holding this angle, instead of going just leaning towards the guy, you can just lean at the last second. Because when you do this, and when you do this, there's like a difference. You cover the distance faster when you lean and peek at the same time. So that makes you just a bit faster. But again, if you want to do this, you need to know that the guy's right there, so it's a bit more difficult. So there's also like the jiggle peaks. For example, you know that a guy's in this general area. He can be like over further there or like somewhere here, right? You come up to the door, you come back, and then you go like this. When you do this, you basically get to see him for like a split second, so you know where he is. And when he looks at you like this, he's gonna see you for a split second, so he's not gonna be able to shoot you. And even if he shoots you, you're not gonna die to one shot, obviously, if it's not like a sniper. So this is like a thing that we basically use a lot. It's one of the most like helpful things actually in our elo, because it's like most of us we don't really run drones, so we have to be fast with whatever we're doing. So this like really helps a lot. There's like also like this, but like this is a lot slower compared to running to the door and then just moving like this, obviously. But like if you're like a new guy, I guess like this is like also okay, like crouching and then stuff. So like the guy actually doesn't. So like you have to make sure that the guy doesn't expect you, okay? So if he expects you like this, and then you just lean into the door, you're gonna get shot in the face. So you basically can do like this. You can just, again, just do the same thing as you did. Like there's not a lot, like, it's not really rocket science anyway. You just come up to the door and then run back.
And now for the last part of the video, we are going to be simply talking about recoil. Now I will only be giving one tip and a few tricks that you should understand. My first tip is that you should play on a higher sensitivity depending on the size of your mousepad. I currently have an Artisan Zero Ninja FX series, which a lot of pro esports or competitive FPS players use for their setups, since it has a huge vertical and horizontal space. And with that amount of space, I usually put my mouse to the topmost part of the mousepad so that when I shoot, all I need to do is just slightly drag down, and since I have a lot of mousepad space, I can control the recoil easily. Hence why I use a bit of a low to medium sense. If you want to know my settings, it's currently 800 dpi and 0.048, and all my in-game sensitivity for Op1 is set to 55. Now for all those who don't have a mousepad that big, I recommend playing on a higher sense since you don't have that much mouse space to even drag your mouse down to control your recoil. And for my general tip for recoil in game is that you should master one gun and move on to the next. What I'm trying to say is you should find a gun that you like and learn its recoil and let your muscle memory develop until you fully master it. Then you can move on to the next weapon you want to learn. For example, I mainly use the M4 because, yeah, my muscle memory is already used to it, and right now I'm currently mastering the AK, which I'm slowly getting used to it. And that pretty much wraps up the guide, and I hope you guys have found this very useful. Thank you to all the people who got involved in the making of this video. Thank you to Operation Ranked for sponsoring me once again, and thank you to Vilcus for going out of his way to give his own time to be featured in the video that helps you guys. Now don't forget to like and subscribe, and also comment what do you think I missed, and also please, I beg you, get me to 10k by the end of the year. I will literally cry. But till next time, gents, ciao.
Fuck this kid. Fuck this kid, bro. Fuck this kid so hard. I fucking, oh my